Fala galera, aqui é o Zapa do canal de Zapa Tutoriais e eu trago para vocês hoje um gameplay comentado do jogo Identity, um novo simulador de vida da Asylum Entertainment. Identity é um MMORPG que promete total liberdade para fazer qualquer coisa que você possa imaginar se passando em primeira e terceira pessoa. Não é simplesmente um The Sims ou apenas um Second Life maquiado. Estamos falando da possível revolução de um simulador de vida real, cara, um novo GTA. O jogo está bem atraente quanto aos gráficos e também convidativo com relação ao que se pode fazer dentro dele. Você pode entrar na pele de um civil honesto, um criminoso, policial, paramédico e muitas outras carreiras épicas, além de, claro, de estar podendo criar seu próprio negócio. Isso é o que promete a Asylum Entertainment. O que também chama bastante atenção no game é o fato de não haver mais níveis de habilidade, fazendo com que as próprias ações que você toma é o que vão importar para o progresso do personagem. No jogo você também vai poder comprar casa no mapa e customizar da forma que você imaginar, e ainda por cima criar sua própria decoração para o interior. No modo online as casas serão únicas, diferenciando dos outros servidores, ou seja, ninguém vai mais poder ter a casa igual ao outro player possui. Tudo isso e muito mais nos deixa ansioso para ter logo esse game rodando na nossa máquina, console, etc. Mas chega de enrolação e vamos ao que interessa. Vamos exibir aqui o gameplay do jogo feita pela desenvolvedora Asylum Entertainment. Gente, a gameplay é em inglês e eu não consegui traduzir pra vocês, mas vamos lá, deixe seu like enquanto acompanha esse gameplay, bora!
Welcome to your first look at Identity player housing. This here is an apartment in Ash Hill. It's still not quite complete. We have a little more work left to do on interface and such, but even as it is the most complete player housing I've ever seen in MMO. This inside is a 2-bedroom apartment, which means it can house 2 people, the owner and a friend. It starts off a little bit basic with low-level trims on the walls and such, and laminate flooring. All this can get upgraded. Almost everything is interactive, like this TV can be turned on, streaming YouTube videos.
Oh my god, what the f happened?
Alright, do me a favor. Call FSA Chebiz or something. He's in the beginning of the list, and tell him that ASDFZ needs that help we were talking about, alright?
And like that, this radio streams live internet radio stations. Let me just turn this down a little so you can hear me. There we go, much better. Now, like I said, everything in here can be modified and upgraded. Almost every component, even the window trim, the window itself, your ceiling, all of the floors, your furniture is fixed, countertops, appliances, cabinets. Just about everything you can see can be swapped out. So let's get started here. I'll show you how it works on walls. First we choose a covering, wallpaper, let's go some simple paint. And we can choose what we want this paint to look like, any color there is. Go with a little green. I'm not an interior decorator, I don't know what I'm doing here. We choose a trim. Now these trims all have to be acquired, you have to buy these out in the world. These are the few options I have, some crown molding. And we can apply it just as wall, the whole room, or the entire apartment. There it is, applied all the way throughout. Change the flooring here, get rid of this laminate. I like dark hardwoods myself, walnut. And that's throughout the whole apartment. Now the kitchen needs something a little different though, so we can change just that room alone. Put those tiles back in. There we go. And let's get rid of this popcorn ceiling. It's a little outdated. Paint that white. And put it all throughout. Now it's starting to look a little bit better already. It's time to put some furniture in here. See, we have a sofa, leather sofa. I have mostly traditional kind of furniture selected here. It's the kind of thing I like, but there's all kinds of different styles available for you. Now, almost every one of these items are crafted and customized. That sofa that you see there, it could be made in leather, different colors of leather, fabric, all sorts of different ways. It's up to the designer once you bought it. It will always be available here if you want to come back to your home and change it out. Let's give this place a little bit more of a comfy bedroom look. Some Berber carpet, only in this room. And we'll change the walls to, say, some wallpaper and some different trim on top. And just this room. And there we go. This looks much better, a lot more comfy now. And like I said, almost everything's interactive. So when we use this canvas, we can actually paint on it. Now, I am not an artist. When you paint on these canvas, you can do all sorts of things with it. First of all, you can just keep it for yourself. You can hang it on your wall. You can add a frame to it. Or you could sell it. You could sell it on the market. And if you think you're really good, you can submit it to an art gallery. Anyone off the street can just walk in, see your art, and buy it right there out of the gallery. I am probably not quite good enough for that. As you can see right here with my art skills, I'll just make a little man here. He's happy. And just need some arms and a little bit of hair. There we go. There, perfect. That's a masterpiece right there. So if I hold down my action key, I can choose to take it away. And now it's actually an item in my furniture inventory. Now, art like this too can be reproduced. You can have prints done, but the original will always be shown as the original piece. So it's probably going to be a little bit more value for good. All right. Perfect. That is beautiful. Another important thing over here is your computer. And computers are quite a bit like the smartphone you have in game, but it can do a few more things. You can watch live streams. You can play games that are made just for the in-game computer. There's a functional internet that is embedded right into the game. And if you are too poor for a computer of your own, you can always go to an internet cafe. And that covers the features as they stand right now for the apartment. We're always expanding on it, adding new things, adding more pieces of furniture to choose between, more customization options. The same level of detail, we're taking it further. Not only in apartments, but you'll see this kind of fidelity in weapons, vehicles, the policing system, prisons, everything under the sun. And if you want to get involved with Identity's development or just get into the game as soon as possible, visit our website listed here.
Identity is an MMORPG that's not really like any of the others you've probably played before. We're not about leveling and questing and grinding up to be able to play with your friends at a higher level. Everything is about the people and the interactions between them. Because of this, it's actually the people who play all of the different roles in the game aside from some really minor things like shops and whatnot. You could become a businessman, for example, or you could be a criminal and try and get that fortune just a little bit faster. You could become a policeman or paramedic, a firefighter, the list goes on. In each of these careers, there's a totally separate progression path where you can grow your way through the ranks and unlock new abilities and move your way up. In addition to that, there's even player government where you, the people, are actually going to be able to elect other players into office who can set laws and control taxes and even make their own policies. And fun's really always the main focus here too. We're going to make sure that whatever you're doing is going to be fun and you're going to enjoy doing it. But with that said, we're keeping some things not so much on the traditional arcadey role of MMOs, but going more a little realistic when it comes to weapons, health, and vehicles. That is, vehicles are going to handle like real vehicles, they're going to crash like real vehicles, weapons are going to shoot like the real counterpart in real life. We also understand that you're not always going to want to do something intensive like trying to make money or fight other gangs. So we give a lot that you can do in your downtime too. Fun little social things that don't really need to be done, but you know, why not? There's something fun. Text communication exists, but we've sort of downplayed it a bit compared to most other MMOs. Instead, we're going for voice over IP, which means when you speak into your microphone, your voice is going to be coming out of your character, and your character's mouth will move and everything accordingly. With this, we actually created karaoke bars where you can go and sing and just have a fun time with friends. And if karaoke is not really your thing, we have other fun stuff like cinemas. The cinemas are actually playing real movies. You can walk in, sit down with friends, and watch an actual movie play start to end. We even have musical instruments that you can actually play note by note however you like. You can write your own songs, play anything you want. And to make that even better, we have places to play them, concert halls that amplify the music that you're playing on stage so all your friends can see and watch. You'll even find libraries full of player-written books and art galleries that are displaying art pieces that other people have actually drawn in the game and are for sale in the gallery. If you're looking for something a little more action-oriented but you don't have a lot of time to get into the game, there's fun little mini games such as paintball that you can play with your friends. The economy in Identity is actually really quite interesting, and the main reason that is that the majority of the items that are for sale on an NPC store are actually made by players. For example, take a t-shirt. If you wanted to actually create a t-shirt, you not only choose the fabric it's made out of, the colors, you can even put symbols on it. And when that is sold in a store, whoever buys it is going to have that exact piece that you made. What makes this even more interesting is that these items sold in the stores are priced based on supply and demand. So if there's a lot of t-shirts of a certain kind for sale in this one particular store, the price is going to be pretty cheap relative to another store that doesn't have any. Because of this, delivery missions can come into play, and you can actually make money transporting goods from point A to point B and selling them again. We'll even have apps that you can use on your in-game smartphone or your in-game computer to monitor the prices of certain commodities at any time. If you're really into the business side of things though, the next step up would probably be real estate. Now, you can buy real estate in the world. Every house that you see in the world is available for purchase, and if you're to buy that, you can use it for yourself, or you can even set it up for rent. Any house that you have that's rented by another player is going to be producing income all the time, and the next step up from there even is factory ownership. There are two kinds of homes in Identity. You have apartments and houses. Apartments are instants, meaning that anybody can have them. There's an unlimited number of them available. When you interact with a certain apartment building, you're going to build load into your instanced apartment. Houses, on the other hand, are out in the world. And like I said earlier, every single house out in the world is buyable and rentable, and when you have one of these houses, it's unique. Only one person can own a certain house on that server in the world at any given time. When you first buy your home, it's going to come both empty and sort of shabby. So you're going to be able to upgrade things like your floors, your walls, your trims. If you want to redo the floors with nice hardwood, that's up to you. You can even choose the style and the color. And then it's time to buy furniture and move it all in. The cool thing here is that a lot of the furniture that you place in your home is functional. It's not just for decoration, although some is. For example, a sofa or a chair can be sat in. Television, you can actually watch streaming gameplay of other people playing Identity at any given time. If you have a radio, you can turn that on, listen to streaming radio, real internet radio stations. Closets can be used to store any sort of clothing that you bought earlier and are not using at that given time. You can take out food out of a refrigerator or your cupboards, for example, or even use your bed to rest. The list goes on, and the point is that a lot of this stuff that you have in your house isn't just for decoration, it's for actual use. A lot of stuff is just for decoration though, and we have some really cool things here. For example, if you take a screenshot with your smartphone in the game, you can actually print that off, frame it, and hang it on your wall. Whatever you take, that thing will show on the wall to everybody in your apartment. And we go even further with this, allowing you to get canvases where you can paint by hand anything that you can imagine. You'll see this masterpiece right here, I made myself. It's probably going to be worth a fortune one day. Homes have a lot of other functionality too. One of the main things that you're probably going to use it for is storage. Any items that you have out in the world, you can store in your house for safekeeping.
Então galera, eu curti muito a gameplay, já deu pra ter uma ideia de como vai estar foda esse jogo, já não tô ansioso. Bom, pelo que eu andei vendo, ele ainda não tem uma data prevista pro lançamento do jogo, né? Mas assim que eu já tiver, eu trago pro canal e se possivelmente também tiver o jogo, eu vou estar trazendo aí pro canal pra vocês acompanharem. Não deixe de se inscrever no canal para dar aquela força e até o próximo vídeo. E antes que me esqueça galera, você pode também assistir no meu canal o vídeo de como baixar e instalar o jogo Assista Também, com todas as DLCs inclusas, e também como instalar duas fontes no seu computador. É isso aí galera, até mais!